There's one type of property that I would probably never buy, and this is the exact property that most South Africans want to own. In this video, I'm going to show you guys why this is the worst investment that you can make and why it ends up costing families millions and millions of rands throughout its lifetime. And if you're someone that's just starting out or you are in your growth phase, this video is for you. There's a difference between looking rich and being wealthy. Most South Africans love looking rich. People have the wrong idea when it comes to real success and wealth. They connect it with luxury cars and fancy houses, where in reality, real wealth is silent and not flashy at all. In my opinion, real wealth and real success is time freedom. Having the time to do whatever it is that you want to do. So with that said, the type of property that I never recommend buying, or the type of property that I would personally only buy in 10 years, is vacation properties. Whether it's a luxury vacation home or a weekend getaway home, these are the type of properties that end up costing people thousands and thousands and even millions of rands over its lifetime. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys why this is one of the worst investments that you can make and why most people have it completely wrong. So let me just quickly show you what most people would start with. And let's say you're a working class individual, you have a decent credit score, you want to grow your wealth, you think property is the answer. Most people would buy something like this. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom flat or townhouse or duplex, whatever you want to call it. I'm just quickly going to scan through the photos, and this is what people think of as building assets and building wealth. The reality is that properties like this can also cost you a lot of money, especially if you have a tight budget. You don't have a lot of reserves, you don't have investments, you have your income, and you think the best way to build wealth is through property. A property like this, for example, let's say you rent it out to a tenant and the income that you can receive will be around 10,000 rand. This is just a random number that I'm throwing out there. And at the end of the day, you have all these expenses that you have to pay as well. Your rates and taxes, your levies, your bond amount. Let's say there's agent commission, and let's say there's vacancy or some maintenance that needs to happen as well. That means that this property that generates 10,000 rand is going to cost you 13,000 rand every month. So you're technically losing 3,000 rand every single month. Yes, you have capital pay down, or basically your bond gets paid down by your tenant over time. This takes a very, very long time. Google amortization if you want to see how that works. And then of course, we also have the possibility of capital appreciation. This is where your property can grow in value over time. Again, this is speculating. We cannot determine how much your property will grow in value. So these are all longer term ways of making money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You just need to be aware of how that actually works. So we have the possibility of principal paydown, capital appreciation, but it's a shortfall property, or it has negative cash flow at the end of the month. This is what most people buy. And again, this is the same type of property that I bought when I started. Then people would probably upgrade to something like this as they grow and as they make more money. They drive a better car, they start a family, maybe they have an increase at work. This is the typical type of property people would buy. I'm just going to scan through the photos. And again, let's say you have your first property that is now an investment property, and then you have this property that you live in yourself with your family and you want to kind of build and grow from there. This property is going to cost you around, let's say, 35,000 rand a month. So now you have a shortfall of 3,000 rand with your first property and this massive bond of 35,000 rand that you need to pay because you're probably living in this property. And then people would want to upgrade to something like this. And this is a property in Laguna Sands in the Western Cape. Beautiful looking property. You can see the Land Cruiser standing there, so you can automatically identify kind of the type of wealth that buys here. And anyway, I'm going to scan through the photos. Very good looking property, good finishes, good furniture and fittings. It's an expensive looking property, and there's a reason why it's more expensive. So people would jump from your 2-bedroom to your bigger house and then eventually want to move to a vacation home. A vacation home, in my opinion, is probably one of the worst financial decisions you can make. and one of the worst property investments that you can make. It usually produces weak or inconsistent revenue or cash flow. It has high monthly expenses like your bond, rates and taxes, levies, maintenance, security, and all these costs. It also has seasonal or unreliable rental income, and it depends heavily on tourism and what the economy is doing. It also often requires constant cash injection because you need to keep it at a certain standard, and it ties up large amounts of capital, and this is a problem because of opportunity cost, and compared to income producing assets, vacation properties do very badly. This is also much harder to scale your portfolio if you have a lot of money tied up in a vacation home, especially if that property is still bonded. Most of the time, these properties create financial pressure instead of freedom. Appreciation is also not guaranteed. Again, this is speculation. So yes, it might go up in value, but just because it's a luxury property or a fancy property doesn't mean it's a good deal automatically. Vacancy is also a big issue with vacation homes because you are obviously going to live there once it's holiday, so that would be the ideal time to rent it out, but then you live there and you lose out on the potential revenue. So renting out your holiday home when it's not really holiday is not going to make you a lot of money at the end of the day. I always tell people that luxury properties are better to preserve wealth instead of creating them. So buying a luxury property in the beginning of your portfolio creation is not a very good idea. The problem that we sit with is that people think you grow from something like this to something like this and then end up with something like this. But what if I told you that this isn't real wealth or real success in property? Put yourself in this situation. If you had to buy these 3 properties, you would look really successful because most people think that this equals real wealth. But what if I told you that something like this, for example, is what you need to buy to really build wealth with property? This is an example, again, a property in Hatfield, Pretoria. It's probably a good fit for student accommodation or a multi-let setup, and this property can actually generate money and put it in your pocket and help you pay off your debt and scale from there. So this property might cost you 22,000 Rand or 25,000 Rand, let's say 25, but it can end up generating 30,000 Rand, depending on the setup that you choose. Once you are able to buy properties like this, let's say you put 10 or 20 properties similar to this in your property portfolio over your lifetime, and it generates 100,000 Rand in cash flow. That's where you can take your cash flow and buy a vacation home. The reality is that people see a vacation home as the end goal, but instead of starting from scratch and growing to the end goal, they buy their end goal way too soon or way too early in their career, and it bottlenecks them from growing their actual portfolio and creating real wealth. We live in a time where everything is falsely advertised on social media, and people would think that if you own or show or have these luxury items or properties, that this is what real success looks like. I know some very wealthy individuals that owns multiple vacation homes, but it's people playing in a different league than what we are used to. So keep the dream there. Work towards your vacation home. Don't buy that vacation home before you can really afford it, because it's probably one of the worst investment decisions that you'll ever make.